What's happening, guys? Just going to do some public server practicing now. I looked at how many laps the race is and how much fuel I'm burning. I'm burning just over a gallon a lap, so it's 16 laps. So it's like right around 1.1 gallons a lap. So after 10 laps, that's another gallon. I'm just looking at a gallon a lap plus that extra tenth. So as far as fuel is concerned, that's way too much. Gonna put in.
That looks lovely, Stephen. Thank you.
Gonna put in 18 gallons. Should be a little extra. Should be about like half a gallon extra. Alright, let's put in like 18.3. I think that should be pretty good. See if we can lower the car a little bit now. I can't lower the front. Might be able to lower the rear a click. There we go. Alright, so let's see what the weather's like. So it is 75, 78. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Or 24, 26. Did make a couple adjustments. Let's just talk about those real quick. Did make a couple adjustments, but I didn't make a video when I was doing them. Excuse me. So I put a little bit more of the center, or took a little out of the center diff, the rear drive split. And just it was 0.74. I put it to 0.73, so I gave the front tires a little bit more drive coming out of the corners, because coming out of one or two corners the rear end was still a little too squirrely. And I also took the drive ramp down a degree for the same reason, to help get rid of the oversteer on exit. So taking that down to 0.73, got rid of some oversteer, and taking that down to 75 degrees. Also got rid of some oversteer. Woo! Just woke up, so I'm a little tired. What's up, Tom? How you doing? I'm pretty happy with this set right now, but I want to do some experimenting, tweaking, see if I can get it to just turn a little bit better like in that last corner we went through. See if I can find a little bit more speed in it. Well, I'm just gonna get warmed up here, get a baseline time down, and then also start thinking of stuff I can do to maybe help this car out a little bit more. Up here I like to brake rate around this overpass. On the second gear, missed my apex. Here, kind of braking where that little access road is. Around about there, down to first, to second. I was really patient with that corner. And up here, there's like a white wall on the left, right there. Kind of where that overpass is, braking around there, give or take. See, right there is one of the spots I really made the differential changes for. It's a lot more stable coming out of that corner now. By taking the coast ramp down a click and bringing the center diff down a little bit too. Kind of braking at the apex of that corner for this corner. Missed my apex on that corner. That's why we get warmed up here. I don't know, kind of braking quite a while before those 3 cones there. It's kind of hard to really say where that braking point is. I don't know. 30 meters, 40 meters before those 3 cones. Up here I'm braking at the set of 3 cones just before it. So kind of, if you want to be nice and conservative, right in the middle of the 4 cones and the 3 cones. Just waiting for the car to turn. And it's usually pretty nice once the car rotates, as far as rotation off the corner. A little bit better. Found the apex. Nope, forgot to push the clutch in. Details, details. See, it's still a little loose through there, and might be something I keep working on, but I don't want to mess with it too much because then I feel I'll lose some of the rotation I like and some of the faster corners. I'm just trying to find the compromise. Hey, what's up, Nürburgring? How you doing? Like, you know, if I mess with the diff setting too much, then the car won't rotate out of that corner the way I like it, the way it does right now, and I really like the way it rotates out of the corner. So, it's definitely something I can try, and maybe it won't affect that corner as much as I'm imagining it will, and everything will be good. Such a hard corner. It's a little technical corner. It feels like it has like 30 degrees of negative camber. Never feel like you get the most out of it, you know. You always feel like you could go through there faster. But usually the fastest way through there is this, when you feel like you're just being too slow, just being super patient. I just love the way it comes out of that corner. See, I just rushed it a little bit too much and then could never get to the apex, so I was just carrying too much speed through it. Yeah, I gotta be kind of patient getting on the gas too. If I get on the gas too early, I also have too much wheel on it, and then I'll kind of want to fishtail out of there. I'm just butchering that corner every single lap. Pretty good through that section. It's probably about as good as I can get through that corner. Little fast. It's like if you just turn in too late, you'll never get to that apex on that corner. Car feels pretty good. Everything I'm going to be doing from here on out is really going to be experimentation, because this is definitely, my opinion right now, race ready. It's really working on my line and how to be smooth but fast. Like this corner I still need to work on. This is another real technical corner though, because you can't. That was really good though. Just can't hit any of those curbs really. On the outside curb on entry or the inside curb at apex. It's gotta be very precise. I like going through that section because I can keep it in second gear and left foot brake. Okay, I think I broke maybe just a little too late. It's alright. Car bailed me out. Oh! It's my first 159. Oh, it wasn't a 159? Dang it. Must have had it. Incident lap that I was basing my numbers off of. I thought that was going to be 159. Alright, so now I'm just trying to think what I want to do for an adjustment. Could do springs. Could do ride height, although I kind of want to keep the ride height as low as possible. Because the lower you can keep the ride height, which is pretty much maxed out to the lowest setting, is the less weight you'll transfer, so that's, you don't really want to transfer weight. And that's gotta be a black flag. In the ideal world, you want to transfer no weight at all, because then you optimize grip. What's up, yops? Alright, Suitor. That was a good little run. Tires probably aren't quite up to pressure yet. Nope. Maybe I'll try a little bit higher tire pressures. Let's take a quick camber out of the left front. Alright, what to do, what to do. The hardest thing about experimenting is just what I want to experiment with. Excuse me. Try like different caster settings. I haven't really messed with those yet. And there's just, you know, there's not a lot to this car. You don't have any dampers to really sit there and tweak all day long, which is nice. Well, let's see. Let's mess around with the diff a little bit more. That's how I was talking about it. Let's just go with what I was talking about. So I'll take another click out of the drive ramp, and again, that's going to get rid of some understeer or oversteer on exit. Now, what I'm worried about is it, like, you know, getting rid of the nice rotation it has coming out of, say, the last corner. But if I can get it to hook up a little bit better in first gear, then I can get on the gas that much sooner. So let's just go down one click on that. See what that does for balance of the car. Man, guys got a similar paint job in that Audi behind me. No, the sleeves standalone. It's because I got a freaking racing seat with bolstering, which is a little excessive, and the inside of my bicep rubs on the bolstering, so if I'm driving for a while, it kind of rubs my arm raw, so I ended up getting the sleeve, and I was like, oh, they got America one, so America. Plus, it's my shifting arm. You gotta keep your shifting arm warm. You don't wanna pull a muscle on your shifting arm. Alright, so I'm really gonna be paying attention to this end corner as I'm coming out of first gear. The last corner. Let's see what happens here. So I'm gonna be a little aggressive just to, I mean, it didn't do magic coming out of that corner, that's for sure. And of course, I've never was that aggressive on the throttle coming out of that corner. Oh geez, that's why you don't read text and drive at the same time. Thank you, Yopes. Appreciate it. Alright, back to this driving stuff. Not good in driving and texting. Yeah, so let's see what it's like coming out of this last corner here. If it still has that good rotation, it'll pull me through the corner. Because one thing you got to watch out for this car is when you get on the gas and it just kind of, it doesn't want to rotate and it pushes out, that'll slow you down significantly. So, see what we got here. Yep, so I got nice rotation when I get on the gas. So I got nice rotation coming out of there on the gas. So we didn't lose any of that rotation I was worried about as far as I'm concerned. Let's see, man, I need to do something to try and... The first lap, that corner is kind of fun because he has so much grip on those front tires, but after that it kind of becomes burdensome, so maybe try and do something to get the car to rotate through that corner a little bit better. I could mess with my caster settings, see what I could come up with there, because again, I haven't experimented with any of that. And honestly, right now, I haven't noticed much of a difference with this diff setting, because it's still kind of, to say, squirting. The rear end's kind of squirting out under real heavy acceleration in first gear. But every other gear, it's pretty nice, which means I could just maybe even make first gear a little bit longer so it's not quite so abrupt. And why am I in third? So it's not just, you know, it'll be more manageable if I make first gear a little bit taller. It won't want to kind of peel out so much. Broke way too late. Now it's past the 3 cone. Again, I like the rotation out of the corner. I feel like maybe it's just a little bit better coming out of there, but I think I want to stretch out first gear. Leave the diff alone. Next time, I'm going to keep this setting because I'm sure it had to help to some degree. Because that's what the textbook said it should do. It didn't seem to hurt me anywhere else, so. But we'll make first a little bit taller. And I might mess around with the caster just to see what I can come up with there. Might also just increase these tire pressures just a little bit. See if I can get the car to be a little more responsive. I do need to do a little bit longer run to see where they really equalize at before I do that. Of course, this is a little bit cooler weather, so they might not get up to quite as high a pressure as the default weather I was running in. Too shallow an entry. Definitely don't want to early apex in this car. Middle to late apex in this car, and that was kind of just barely an early apex. Okay, well, I have a pretty good idea what the that diff setting did. It's helped me out a little bit, but not much. I'm gonna not do that. First gear here and go down one more click. So you'll see this number go up. 124. So that'll just make the car a little more controllable out of those first speed acceleration corners. Now, Costa. What do I want to do? So I want the car to turn more in, what corner is that? 1, 2, 3, somewhere around there. So, this is Caster's another one, just it's really good to YouTube because it's kind of visually pain in the butt to describe. Here, I got this. So this is my mic stand that didn't work. So this would actually be really good. So let's say this is the wheel, obviously, the tire, and then this is like the center. We'll just call this a line. So when you have no caster in the car, that means this center point, it's the pivot. It's an axis. So it pivots that when you turn the tire, it pivots on that axis. Right now we're running positive caster. So this is the front of the car. And there, I don't even know if you guys can see that. So this is the front of the car, this is the rear car. So this is no caster. You start running more caster, it kind of leans the tire back. So what happens is when the tire turns, instead of being, you know, right on this bottom point directly below, and it's a pretty, you know, it's not really fighting me at all or anything on my finger down below. It's kind of just turning nice and easy. Well, when you roll it back, now the tire kind of turns into the ground. It kind of pushes into the ground. So that's why you get that heavier steering feeling, because when it's turning, it's pushing into the ground. So it'll give you a heavier steering feeling. It will give you more straight line stability because it's kind of leaned back, so it doesn't want to change direction quite as much. Now when it's up like here, it just, you know, because it doesn't have that resistance, it kind of just wants to, like a shopping cart wheel, it's, you know, it kind of wants to, it's not quite as stable. It'll wiggle around more. So you lean it back, you get some more straight line stability, but what also is kind of neat about casters, when you turn into the corner, it changes the actual camber. You can't really see it, but because this is so thin. But when I turn into the corner, it creates more camber. So the tire kind of bites into the corner like you would on skis. And if it goes the other way, it turns the camber down that way. So again, it kind of bites into whatever way it's going. So you get more dynamic camber. So this is a setting where you kind of want to just mess around with and see how the car reacts, because you never really know how it's going to react. Do you want that more? Do you want less caster and it's a little bit more responsive, it'll turn a little bit quicker? Or do you want that more stability where it'll kind of cut into the corner a little bit more and maybe grip a little bit more? So with the fast speed stuff, I usually want more caster because it's more stable, and the tires will kind of bite into the corners. Where the lower speed stuff, I kind of wanted that quicker, lighter feel. So again, complete experimentation. I'm gonna see how far this goes in either direction. 12, so that's gonna be really heavy, because that axis is gonna be laid way back. And 6. So let's just see what happens when I take a little caster out of it. Just see what it feels like. How much more time do I have in this session? Oops. 15 minutes, so maybe do 6 laps and then another adjustment, a 6 lap adjustment.
Clear, clear. Right side. Clear, clear, clear.
And being gonna pass somebody on the inside of that corner, you have to be extremely patient, because your car, you really need all that corner, so you have to get on the gas a lot later than you'd want. I like to usually set people up out of that corner, try and get a better run out of that corner and people, because it's just such a hard corner to get through, and then make the pass going into that corner we just went through. That steering's definitely lighter. Can't really make any judgments other than that right now because we have such brand new tires. Now what am I doing? I started left foot braking, I didn't know how to downshift anymore. Tried to throttle blip it and that didn't work. Feel like it's gonna not want to turn around this corner quite as much because those front tires aren't gonna be biting in, but I could be wrong. I guess I should say leaning into the corner, not biting into the corner, because kind of, they're not really biting, they're leaning.
Right side. Clear, clear.
So this is where I'm really seeing if it's making a difference. And I mean, right now it is, but I gotta give it a couple more laps before I get too excited about it. And another way to, I always like to explain that, is thinking about motorcycles and their front rake. Compare like a dirt bike that's got a, pretty vertical front fork compared to like I was way too late on the brakes. Compared to like a custom chopper that's just front tires like 4.5, 5 feet out from its gas tank. That motorcycle is gonna be able to turn a lot smaller area, or the dirt bike's gonna be able to turn a lot smaller area, where the custom chopper is gonna need like a 4-lane freeway to do a U-turn. So it's another way I kind of like to think about turning radius, and how when you think of it in extremes, it makes more sense that a little less caster will help you turn, and the tighter stuff a little bit more. Where you can get away with more caster in the fast speed stuff like this corner, because you don't need to quite turn in such a small space. Alright, I'm gonna stop talking because I can't do that and drive at the same time. See what this thing does. It was really stable coming out of that corner in first gear, by the way. I feel like going that way with the caster's helping me get to the apex a little bit better. It's got a little bit better turn in. So, I think I'm gonna do is just run the clock out on this run. See what the tire pressures are like by the end of the run. That'll give me a good half a race stint. Give me a good idea what's going on. So I went into that corner a little too fast. I don't know. Gonna have to just run some more laps before I find out if the less caster kind of hurt me on the rotation that I like so much about coming out of that corner, because it kind of felt like it's just pushed and didn't want to turn, but I think that could have been driver error too. So I just want to give it some more laps and see what just happened there. Because definitely I was so close to getting a sub 2 minute lap, so I kind of drove it in there a little bit harder than I normally would to really try and get that lap, and I want to get on the gas a little bit sooner too, so probably driver error. Why it wouldn't turn. But adjusting this caster will have an effect on that, so. Oh, it wasn't even left and right? Did I only change one caster? Oh, you know what it is. Oh, it's even. Oh, you're talking about the camber. No, I don't want the camber to be even because of the way the tires are wearing. I actually do. I'll do it right now. I actually do want to take one click more camber out of this side, because see how this inside tire pressure is a little bit hotter in that one. That means the inside corner of the tire is going to wear a little bit more in that one. But good looking out. I don't mind if my cambers aren't even. Right now, I mean, well, since we're talking about it, there's only 8 minutes left in the session. I'll just talk while I'm driving. You can mess on uneven casters. I mean, that's what's in a NASCAR, because they only go around a corner one way. So if you got a track that's predominantly one direction or the other, I think if it's all right-handers, all left-hander, you can kind of mess around with that too. I typically don't do that. And another reason it might like the ride heights and all that stuff right now are off is because I have the tire pressures set up for when we're up to pressure. So when they're up to, you know, their full pressure. So when it's at that point, then the car is sitting even or level. Because the spring perches are actually the same exact number on the left and right side. It's just because the tires are different pressure, it's going to have different ride height settings. And that'll also mess with the camber a little bit too. So everything looks all, wrong gear. Everything looks all cattywampus when the car's just sitting there in the garage. But when it gets up to pressure, in theory, everything should be nice and level. Yeah, I like to use Motec too, but I still kind of rely more on just feel and doing it that way. I'll look at Motec for like fuel numbers. I like to look at it for dampers, but this car doesn't have dampers. I guess I could look at it for shocks and stuff like that too. But yeah, I don't know what it is about me. It's just I like to do it by feel a little bit more, even though it probably takes a little bit longer. Alright, focus these next couple laps. I think probably have 2-3 more laps I can do before I run out of time. Yeah, that's way too fast. Alright, so let's see what this thing does when I get on the gas. See, it rotates, but I think I'm gonna have to go back on that caster change. I had to get off the gas or I would have just hit the wall. And I waited a long time to get on the gas there. So I think it's kind of hurting me a little bit on the high speed stuff as far as getting that rotation out of the corner, because its front tires just aren't quite leaning into the corner like I like. And let's see, I mean, is it really doing me a lot of favors through there? Not really. Still have to use the brake a lot to turn the car, so I think I'm gonna go back on that caster change. Keep the gear change, but go back on the caster change. Try and find another way to get it to turn a little bit better in the slow stuff. Yeah, I do like Motec because you know it is what the numbers say it is. There's no real interpretation. And you know, it's just like anything else in racing. It's whatever works best for you. There's, yeah, see that's too much push coming out of the corner there. But yeah, it's just like anything in racing. There's a million different ways to get where you're going, and that, you know, that's from, you know, how you set your car up. Do you like to mess with springs more than cambers or roll bar? You know, everybody has different ways to get the car to handle the way they want, and that's you know, and that even goes into how you interpret the car. Do you interpret the car by feel, Motec, combination of both? So, gonna keep the original caster settings for now. Save that as V4. That's about it for me. Do I have any time to get back out on track? No, 1 minute left. So that's gonna be it for me for this session. I think next session I'm gonna mess with tire pressures. I need to do a longer run though before I do that. Maybe take another click out of this front roll bar, see what that does for the car. Go full soft on the front. Try and get that front to roll a little bit more in the slower stuff and give me a little bit better overall rotation. But until that time, thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you next time.